I've dedicated a large chunk of my channel to Bigfoot movies. So when I saw Sasquatch Sunset coming to theaters, I just had to go see it. Yeah, this is the movie that reportedly people were leaving the theater at the Sundance Film Festival because it's so gross. And I get it. You see it all here. Sex, poop, pee. It's like a middle schooler wrote the jokes. But if you're a fan of Bigfoot cinema like me, you'll be willing to look past that and see the true story here. Now, it's not playing in every theater across the US. I had to drive about an hour and a half to watch it. But for me, that's nothing. I've driven much further for far less. We haven't had a Bigfoot movie in theaters since Exists, to my knowledge, and that was all the way back in 2014, 10 years ago. So it's long overdue. But Sasquatch Sunset isn't your typical Bigfoot movie. There's no killer beast hellbent on revenge or even a family-friendly giant loose in the city. Sasquatch Sunset follows a Bigfoot family and documents what could happen to them over the course of a year. And like I said before, not leaving anything to the imagination. You see it all here. Literally, you see the male's wieners just dangling the whole time for everyone to see. I'm sure that's why most people got up and left. The excessive horniness in the first half. I felt embarrassed to be there, like I was watching a Bigfoot porno, and that's not what I paid to see. However, eventually that all stopped and we could actually focus a bit on the story. Yeah, there is indeed a story, albeit it's pretty simple. And after a while, you'll really start to feel bad for some of these big feet. It focuses on 4 in total, 2 male, a female, and a child, who are just trying to survive in the woods and get on with their lives. There are hints that perhaps they are looking for other Sasquatches. Earlier on, you see them doing wood knocks and howls and then listening for a call back. It's nice, you can tell that the writers at least knew a little bit about real-life reports. As for the look and feel, well, it looks fantastic. There are so many wide shots of giant fields or mountains, and yeah, as the name would suggest, there's sunsets with Sasquatches too. The music is pretty good too. It's sort of that new age indie movie music, and it fits the mood and it works. There's some humor. The movie is labeled as a comedy drama, but I wouldn't even consider it that. It's more like a documentary, like if we were able to film Sasquatches tromping through the woods. Jane Goodall would have loved to have seen this movie because sometimes it really does feel like you're watching monkeys on National Geographic. It stars Jesse Eisenberg and Riley Keough, some pretty famous actors, honestly. In fact, I would say probably the most famous Bigfoot actors since Harry and the Hendersons. So there was some money put into this. The suits look fantastic too, as you would expect. This movie had a budget after all, with really only 4 main characters to pay, so the suits better look good. There's also no dialogue in the entire movie, it's just grunts and ughs. Already I can see why this would turn off most people who would want to watch a movie with Bigfoots doing it out in the woods with no spoken words. Well, me, that's who. And I know I'm not alone, but I should mention that I was the only one in the theater at the time of the movie. But that was on a Thursday night, so I'm sure more people will see it on the weekend. I hope. Should you watch Sasquatch Sunset? Well, it's a tough one for me to recommend, honestly. This movie isn't for the average moviegoer. I went to see it by myself, and if I would have dragged my wife or maybe some friends along to go see it with me, I honestly would have felt pretty bad for them. I also think the hardcore Bigfoot believers wouldn't enjoy it either. They take their Sasquatch seriously, and any jokes or hijinks that the characters do on screen would just upset those people who are always on guard for being made fun of for their beliefs. So who is this movie for? Well, I'd venture to say you. If you found this channel, if you're watching this review, you have some interest in Bigfoot movies like Willow Creek, Primal Rage, or The Man Who Shot Hitler and Then the Bigfoot. You'll probably enjoy Sasquatch Sunset. But I'm gonna have to recommend you wait until it comes to streaming or maybe physical release so you can watch it at the comfort of your own home, and then fast forward through all the sexual and weird parts. Every year, a handful of Bigfoot movies come out. Most are either straight to DVD or honestly straight to YouTube at this point. We're not talking quality movies. Sasquatch Sunset isn't gonna change any of that. It's a movie on its own, And really, it isn't going to do much for Sasquatch cinema. I was hoping it might jumpstart a new era of all kinds of big-budget Bigfoot movies, but as it stands, I don't think that's going to happen. As for a score, well, it has its good and bad points. Like I said, the scenery is beautiful and the suits look great, but there's just a little too many uncomfortable scenes in there for me to give it anything more than 2 Sasquatches out of 4. Are you gonna go see Sasquatch Sunset? Well, let me know what you thought about it. Is it the next blockbuster Bigfoot movie? Or will it just fade away like most others? Let me know. And thanks for watching.